It's titled Aladdin and His Magical Wonderful Lamp. And for anyone who's interested in coming, the dates are December 5th, 6th, and 8th. It's not completely based off either of the movies, but it's worthwhile to see. Okay, so now that the shameless promotion is out of the way, let me get to this monologue that not yours truly made. So, imagine if the monologues were improvised. You know, we didn't have to write them, didn't have to go through the process of making them, didn't have to take class time, none of that, really. It would save a lot of time, don't you think? Okay, well, another benefit to it would be that if we come up here and do this, it would feel more genuine to the audience, because it's something that comes from our mind. I got this idea from a YouTuber that I used to watch, and it led to him having a lot of success for a short while, but he now has over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube as of this moment. So that was just a question, and I was wondering if anyone else agreed with it. Thank you, and I'm sorry if this felt like a failed social experiment for anyone else.
I'm going to ask you all a question. How do you become a dragon? At first, that seems easy, just roar and stuff. But when you actually think about it, how does a dragon walk? How does a dragon talk? How does a dragon act? I play a dragon in this year's play, Aladdin. And it's really difficult because I'm just a rather tall guy. And I have to convince an audience, yep, that's dragon. And people think theater is easy.
You know what would help you, Trey?
What?
A TED Talk.
Yeah, everyone knows TED stands for Teaching Everything to Dragons.
They don't know.
Little known fact about me, I've always wanted to do a TED Talk. I love TED Talks. If you don't know, TED is a non-profit devoted to spreading ideas, and I love them. My favorite ones are strange answers to a psychopath test, and psychopaths and 3 reasons why we need them. I know I'm good, but I want to stand in front of a group of people who treat me with respect and listen to what I have to say. Hopefully, I don't talk about psychopaths, but everybody can look up and think, huh, he's important. He's doing a TED Talk. I want crowds of people looking at me, but until then, thanks for listening to my TED Talk.
If you want to do a TED Talk, you have to be good at writing. And there's a lot more to writing than just stating facts. There's a lot of work that goes into writing. You have to make it interesting and have creativity. Like writing a monologue.
Who actually likes writing? Sounds like too much work to me.
I love writing. Not writing like an essay for English class. I mean, for like books and TV. But I only like the good stuff, like character development, pacing, goals, and sometimes even a reasonably nice plot or character twist. Now, if I like that stuff so much, then what do I hate exactly? Well, it's the opposite of everything I like, of course. Poor characters, lack of development, weak motivation, an incompetent antagonist. You know, the bad stuff. I would love to tell you the specifics of what I like, but a lot of people would be upset with that, so I I just won't tell you what I specifically like. Or dislike. Though in a way to conclude this, those are some of the most important things to writing a good and entertaining story.
Does anyone want to share a story as an example?
High school experiences can always be exciting stories.
Is there anyone here who has some high school experience?
I mean, I do.
4 years. This is my last monologue, my senior monologue. But I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about monsters, trolls, fairy tales. No one questions whether or not an anteater exists, even if they've never seen an anteater themselves. But if someone claims they've seen Sasquatch, they're crazy. There's so much on Earth humans have yet to discover, let alone on other planets. It is completely possible creatures of legend dwell in the woods, the sea, space, or the mountains. Was the disappearance of Roanoke Island caused by a dragon? Do ships in the Bermuda Triangle go missing due to alien spacecraft? There are never-ending accounts of these mysterious phenomena. Serious scientists refuse to dwell on explanations that aren't logical, but unexplainable events most likely have unexplainable reasons. Seeing and experiencing something for yourself is not what makes it real. There is always a chance it's out there, somewhere in the woods, waiting.
Not the story we were expecting, but interesting.
I personally prefer non-fiction.
Who's to say what's nonfiction?
Perception is
reality.
Seeing is believing. Something in your imagination can be shown to the world. So is it real? The answer only lives inside yourself. Believing in what you think is real, you could imagine pink clouds on sticks when you're looking at a cherry blossom. You can imagine a mouse and think of more of a detective. Are sadness or anger same as just looking at the trees or a mouse? We make believe the power we can possess within us, memories, stories, moments that we look back at, explaining in a different way how they happen. We put hope, joy, and all kinds of creativity to the new version of the story. So I'll leave off with this. Winds in the east, mist coming in, like something brewing, about to begin. Can't put my finger on it, but I fear what's to happen all had happened before. From saving Mr. Banks, never lose the sight of imagination, or it would be a non-realistic world.
You know what else is unrealistic?
Brian being everyone's hero.
Hi, I think I'm a main character. I don't know if I'm a hero or not. I thought I was a hero. No, I was a hero for most of high school. For freshman, sophomore, and junior years. It was like a good trilogy. But then a fourth season came out, and I don't know if I'm a hero anymore. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the villain. But I'm no longer certain I'm the hero. Like, I'm the character you root for, even though I'm doing bad things half of the time. I believe this will be the final season. Not in the we're getting canceled type of ending. In the I'm either gonna die or complete my character arc. I believe my character arc will be defeating my first friend. I've made a lot of enemies. And I'm starting to believe that that was my fault. I've only fractured my arm 2 times. And in both occasions, the certain girl was in this class. So I'm starting to think that she's out to get me. I'm on to her. My first friend and me have always said that senior year will end with a final battle. And I always thought that I could get him, but I no longer think I'm gonna win. I believe I can get him down to like the final blow. Like, I'm about to push him off a cliff, but I don't think I would do it. I don't know if that makes me a hero or not. Everyone would like to think that they're a Spider-Man type of hero, or a JD from Heathers type of villain. But I'm starting to think that I'm a James from the end of the world. More of a tragic hero. Maybe that's a good thing, because if I was perfectly good or bad, hero or villain, then I would be a pretty boring main character.
Ryan, you can be our hero.
Fix this egg. Fix this generation. Are buses the most efficient way to get to school?
Fix my ring.
Fix my TED Talk application.
Wait, did you say buses?
Want to know what I hate? Buses. I mean, think about it. You have to wake up super early in the morning, and if you're like me, you'll miss every single alarm that you set. Then you've got to rush to get ready and run up to the bus stop and fall at least 1,000 times. Okay, make that 1,001 because I always trip on the bus steps. When I finally get on the bus, there are never enough seats. It's almost as if the whole state is on it. Then I've got to squeeze into a seat with 2 or 3 screaming second graders ranting about how their boyfriend said hi to another girl in the hallway. Then it leaves me contemplating on how a second grader is in a relationship and I'm still single. And I can't even get a text back. Oh, and you can't forget my favorite part of the bus ride. It's when a driver takes a curve about 4,000 miles per hour, and I get swung into the seat with the kid whose backpack I swung through the bus because he wouldn't let me sit with him. Honestly, buses are just a huge reality check. I'm super clumsy, I don't like kids, I don't like cold weather, and I'm single. So wait, I don't hate buses. I hate life. Buses just help me realize it.
Life is like a bus.
A theater bus.
Wouldn't that get a little crowded?
Some people like crowded.
Yeah, like orders.
I'm a hoarder. I am what you call a sentimental hoarder. I am a very sentimental person. I'm a kind of a hoarder with everything that I care about, to the point where I even have a box of memories of little things I've collected along my adventures. It mostly consists of rocks and leaves and doodles, but it still means something. My collection of sentiments started around my 5th birthday when I received the tiniest, cutest little locket, and I cried, because I was just so excited about it. Now, recently I've adopted a new special sentiment, and it's my ring that I actually found, but this is the story of how I lost it. It's a small golden ring with a little purple amethyst stamped right in the center of it, and I lost it because of Brennan. I was sitting with Deacon, like I do every morning, and Brennan came up to say hello. And I, as a very enthusiastic morning person, started waving my hand very rapidly. And as soon as I did that, I watched my ring fly off of my finger and go into the sea of the horrid, beastly children that go to this school. My first reaction I can't even repeat, because there were some words that I don't think anyone here wants to hear. I was so angry with myself, but I knew it wasn't my fault. I mean, who could blame me? My finger just flew off of my Jack Skellington-esque hands with big knuckles for no reason. I turned to Deacon and Brennan with tears in my eyes. Deacon suggested that maybe I could put up a lost cat poster with a drawing of my ring, but I knew that wouldn't work. I'm too broke to pay ransom. I thought about it for a moment, and I made my way to my first block, feeling really defeated. That was the first time I've ever cried in the hallway. Luckily, though, my first block teacher was kind enough to let me go look for it in the commons, and I had 2 lunch ladies, 3 janitors, the secretary, and one of my friends who happened to be in there helping me look for it. And as I was on my hands and knees digging through the trash, I found it. And I cannot even explain the sigh of relief I felt when I slid it back onto my finger. Now, there's probably a moral hidden somewhere in here how I should be less materialistic and not put so much value on items, but I think I just need a resizing.
What is the average ring size?
Between 5 and 7.
What about family size? Gracie has something to say about that.
Okay. I'd say that I come from a decently sized family. There are 9 of us, so that might be a little more than decently sized. But who am I to say, really? We are despised the moment we walk into any restaurant. Probably because of us taking up all of the tables and chairs in the joint. Sorry, Monocle's patrons. Or because we eventually get the place shut down. Sorry, not sorry, deadbeat Pete's. But we really are a force to be reckoned with. When my siblings and I enter a public place, we immediately get all eyes on us. And that's probably because we manage to make ourselves look like clowns at every waking moment. But in all honesty, I don't think I'd be the person who I am without them. So I'd like to thank them. Caleb. Okay. Caleb, thank you for... I think you're the only person who shares my taste in movies. This is so stupid to cry about. And I think you're the only one who agrees with me about Tusk, so... Taylor, no matter how old you are or how many kids you have, you'll always share my immaturity. Oh my gosh, how funny. Gosh, you'll probably still be fighting me to the front seat even when we get as old as Dad. Tori, thank you for feeding into my cat addiction. Without you or Teddy. This is so funny, I'm so sorry. Without you or Tay, who would I impulsively get cats with? Cole, thanks for sitting through episodes of My Little Pony and Doctor Who with me, even when I was a little old to be watching My Little Pony. Maddie, you're my only sister who I can genuinely rock out to Victorious with. Throwback to that one time we made Dad stay up all night so that we could watch the iCarly and Victorious crossover episode. What a legend. And finally, the littles. Avery, Jack, and Annie, no matter how far away you guys are. You guys always find a way to get on my nerves, and I wouldn't change that for the world. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you.
It is very nice to be around the people you love.
Sometimes we don't realize how lucky we are the people that we have.
Is there someone in your family you take for granted? I do. She's my mom's girlfriend, or her wife. She's also my mom. Her name's Tina. And without her, I wouldn't be who I am today. I love her, even though I'm the worst child. She puts up with a lot. lot of stuff for me and my mom. And without her, we wouldn't be here. We would be somewhere else. And I wouldn't get to laugh and have fun with both my favorite parents and the only parents I would ever have. I would never trade them. Not for anything. I may not say it a lot, but I truly do love you too, more than anything. I love you guys.
We all take what we love for granted one time or another.
Whether we realize it or not, I have never taken for granted the thing I love.
Never?
I couldn't. I wasn't even alive when it happened.
Have you guys ever had problems with our current society? Have you ever daydreamed of what it would be like to currently live in those 80s movies? Because I do. Hi, I'm obsessed with the era of the 1980s. Sitting in French class on a Friday, monologue due in a few hours, and my head is completely empty. I was like, why not just write about something that I've been passionate about since middle school? Imagine just living in an 80s movie. You wake up, ride your bike to your friend's house, and like never tell your parents where you are, go on some crazy adventure, end up in some cheesy diner, and get into a fight with some cliche bad boy bikers, or some of you may even refer to them as greasers. All of a sudden, Corey Haim or Keanu Reeves or any other 80s heartthrob jumps in and saves the day. Crazy, right? If I were to live in an 80s movie, I want it to be Dirty Dancing, which I'm sure most of you have seen. One of my biggest hobbies is dancing. Anyways, who wouldn't want to go to a boring resort, meet Patrick Swayze, have him teach you how to dance, fall in love with him, and then smoke everyone on that dance floor? Or maybe I'd want to be in The Lost Boys, because vampires are pretty cool. And if you are an acquaintance of mine, you know that I am very passionate about the movie Stand By Me, or at least you do now. My point is that we should bring the 80s back, or at least appreciate it more, because I can promise that all of you are missing out.
We heard some great monologues.
Wait, there's one more.
Don't you forget about me.
What is yours about, Destiny?
Oh, you know, topics.
I was told to write a monologue. I could say anything. I have the opportunity to get on stage, talk about anything I wanted. So I thought of all the current problems in the world. Like, should we raise the driving age to 18? Should Pluto be considered a planet? Is technology making people less creative? Do introverts make better leaders? Thank you guys. Sorry. Is chai tea the best beverage? Say it for me, guys.
Yeah.
For me.
Yes.
Sing. Can money buy love and happiness?
Yeah.
May need to work on that. Should men wear pink?
Yes.
Should the school dress code be less strict?
Yes.
Does fashion express character?
Yes.
Should we phase out the penny?
Yes.
Should every child learn how to cook?
Yes.
Should you eat more fruits and vegetables?
Yes.
Vegetables have feelings too. Stop carrot cruelty. Are ghosts real?
Yes.
Was the moon landing fake?
Yes.
Should cake be considered cake if it's too dry?
Yes.
Why is it that funny pickup lines are the best?
Why, Destiny?
Are dads more fun than moms?
Yes.
Are moms more fun than dads?
Yes.
You said yes to both of those. Is Deacon my favorite human?
Yes.
Does anyone want a bite of my French toast bagel?
Yes.
Are extracurricular activities important for your future?
Yes.
Maybe.
Are grown-ups a weird species?
Yes.
Does theater need more funding?
Yes.
More members?
Yes.
Larger audiences?
Yes.
Agreed. But all of these problems don't matter. Because one day, when Haley fell asleep in a bar, a wise man slapped her on the shoulder and yelled, "Wake up! Life is great!" So by the end of the day, I forgot all of the problems in the world and realized that the only problem was finding a topic for my monologue. Now you know my whole thought process during this situation. And I never decided on the topic for my monologue. Thank you and good night.